is watching. The whole world is watching that.
Yep.
And when it talks about the emperor has no clothes, this is ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah.
But now you gotta remember, we ask, oh Allah, make a fool out of these people. Make it where they just asinine. And that's what's happening. Okay, I'm only on number 7 here, but let me speak up. But we say these killings, these vigilantes, all this stuff is arranged. Every time something happens, the good people say we don't want no violence. And then the other people come in anyway. In fact, we told the police that on the, that's y'all's people. They're
Right.
not, okay, they're your responsibility. They're not our responsibility. You can't associate them with us. You can't associate, but they do. We gotta keep the peace. Man, that old Nixonian, doctrine, no knock, stop and frisk, and law and order,
Right.
was ridiculous. The cooperation between them, unemployment, we'll keep going. Well, unemployment, I don't know whether it's 30 million or something. Republican convention, morning in America. Everything's great. We've done a great job. All of this SHIT, it don't exist. Hell, this don't exist. Police brutality, see, all the rebellions in the past were based on police brutality. The police killed somebody or beat somebody up, and that was it. So somebody's doing it on purpose. These elections, you can see that the elections is built to scare people to death.
Yeah.
To scare people to death. If you don't vote for us, those niggers are gonna take care of you. So the old people over here, they're gonna vote like properly, they're gonna scare most of the Democrats to death. So probably they won't win. But it don't make no difference because nobody's talking about what the world needs. The world needs the people to work together, right? To build a new harmonious development with the earth on which we live. Earth liberation, liberated from who? Liberated from the human being, right? They're not talking, nobody's talking about that. But, I mean, how long can the earth last in its present condition if the ocean is full of plastic? And the ocean used to be a cleanup place. Used to clean up everything, go in there, it would clean it up with salt, it would break it all down, then it would bring up water, fresh water up, distill it in the air, and bring it back down all over the land. It's a wonderful setup. But that setup is disturbed. Allah created everything in balance, and now it's off balance. I'm going to speak up again. The Republican convention don't even seem like they're talking about this earth that we're living on. It don't sound like it, okay? It don't sound like this world at all. So, again, we have our black mother that's trying to wake everybody up. Peaceful protest, repeat of Antifa. Everything we told the people for the last few months is even more visible now. The preachers, the usual suspects, Sharpton and all of them, and the new representatives of black people. I listen to them on the radio, and they're nice people, but they're just like the kids down there at the Black Lives Matter Plaza. They don't, if they knew, they would be saying this. Why, if this is true, or close to true, which you can read it and study it anywhere, why is nobody saying anything? Where's the Negro imams? From Brooklyn, from all up in Connecticut, everywhere. Why ain't they saying nothing?
Right.
They may not know. Well, if they don't know, then they shouldn't be the imams.
This is true.
If they don't know what's going on, right? How you gonna lead the people when you don't know what's going on?
Right, yeah.
And then why would they be showing up on press TV and everything? That's just unbelievable. Let me speed up. So, the alternative media, you can't get nothing alternative media because the one thing that we learned clearly about DC over the years is about alternative media. We saw over the last 25, 30 years, all the people supposed to be in Answer, Coalition and all of that, they're now the representatives in RT and all of that. Right? They're all the representatives.
They in pocket, you know.
They
In pocket.
okay, not only that, but the black preachers from those days, the revolutionary, fiery chit-chatters right here down at the churches around here. Okay. Who are they? They're the representatives. When they want to know something, the system calls on them. When the system wants to know something, they call on Brian Becker and all of these guys, the guys in Answer. I don't want nobody to call on me, but at least we have an idea. I mean, just because we write all the time, it don't make no difference. I mean, it is kind of ridiculous. It is really super ridiculous. Okay. So now, this temporary call on relatives and friends, we can see from what we just went over, and that was just the top 10 hit list. That's not all the stuff. That's just, you couldn't put it down. That's why I said I'm gonna speak up. You couldn't make this stuff up. All of this stuff is happening right now. It's happening right now.
All at the same time.
All at the same time. And then this is just the top 10 list. It's not, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's just the big stuff. It's all happening on our watch. And nobody's calling it right. No analysis. It's, let's see. See, on this watch, we have to, it's either, this go around, either the human being, we've developed a human being that has relative self-control. Let's say he's conscious, controlled by conscience. That means he'll do good a lot and he'll do a few phony things, and then some will really be on a high level. And a small percentage will be knuckleheads. Okay, that's fine. But in this case, everybody is going crazy and ain't nobody, in order to control a society like this one, either we're gonna be highly evolved or we're gonna live in a super dictatorship. You ever read the book 1984 or you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
What we got now makes 1984 look like I don't know what. Well, 1984 was written in 1948. That's 84 backwards. So it was saying that already existed then.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Now, you gotta imagine, with surveillance, with police mechanism, with facial identity, with all this new stuff, right? We'll either be on global lockdown, with people goose-stepping up and down the street, or we're going to have a society where the human being has evolved. We want a world where the human being have evolved, been allowed to and encouraged through training and education to evolve above this level right here. So most of the people is kind of here and up there, you know what I mean? Where they're exercising self-control. The police is within them. This is right, this is wrong. If we have to have a police department and they won't legalize drugs, they won't do none of that stuff, right? So the people are going to have those things that want them, and you can't stop them. And then they're the ones that put them here for us. And then blame us and call us the Bogeyman. So I'll get back to the subject in a day or so about relatives. But I call on my friends and relatives. If you knew where we've been all of our life and what we've been working toward, if you already know that, you should get on this side, get on our side. Retire, leave the white man. Just leave him alone. No, leave that cracker alone because you can see where he's coming from. And he's going to finish you off. After he finish us off, if he do, he going to come at you. And then read the patterns of history. He's not going to make it. The patterns, it's not going his way, it's going our way. You made a mistake by joining this side because it has seemed like it's stable. That was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. He ain't that no more. Boss man is not that. And the earth that you was living on then is not the earth. You got to realize everything is on our side. The earth is rebelling against boss man. The earth is rebelling. Okay, the earth is going to wrap that boy up. It don't make no difference how you don't like it. The earth is a living organism. And it'll drown. And you think this stuff, look, you think these hurricanes or something, you let that water heat up down there another 10 degrees. And down in the hotter the water, the hurricanes, y'all see all these movies about these great tidal waves and all that. That's where this boy is headed. You got to stop it. We have the ability to check his behavior now and institute a new system. This is not I want my piece of the pie. It ain't that anymore. You can't do that. If you fix one thing, everything else is still messed up. Suppose they finish racism. Just tomorrow, no more racism. Everybody love Negroes. Don't make no difference. You're still going to drown. All that other stuff is still going to happen, right? Suppose you just go to bed one night and get up and say, I want to fix the climate. Fix the climate. You got oppression, you got wars, you got all of that stuff, right? It's not a fix one thing anymore. We got to fix the whole thing all together. And we have to have a system that would allow us to do that. In other words, we have to engineer environmental circumstances, and all of that takes unity, discipline, organization, focus. Unity, discipline, organization, focus. That's all what it takes. So systems transformation, not individual transformation. We're going to transform the racial part. That ain't going to get it. Right? We got to do the whole thing. So I'm calling on my family. I'm saying, hey, come on out. You made a mistake before. You got on Boss Man's team. You participated with Boss Man and all of this. Houses in California, all this stuff around here. There's so much, I don't even want to mention it. Does it bother me personally? Absolutely not. Am I happy? I am happy, personally. But I'm afraid for y'all, because I know where this leads. This is where it leads. Now, I can suggest, and I make an appeal to all the right-minded people. I'm appealing to you. But if you don't come, if you don't support it, this is not a personal thing where niggas supernatural can change, got magic wands and stuff. It's the people. The people always, the right time, got the right message. And as the Quran says, Allah will not change the condition of the people till they change within themselves. So I'll get back to this later, but I'm calling all of my relatives. I don't want to tell you what you did and prove that I knew what she was doing all along. But I was up on all of this stuff all the time. You can believe it or not, but one thing you don't have to go and search is how often we've been correct and how often Boss Man has been wrong. Boss Man won World War II, he was lucky. He hadn't did nothing in Korea. Vietnam, he just got all his people slaughtered. Of course, not the Vietnamese love America, but that's their problem. The U.S. lost in Vietnam. They destroyed the country, Agent Orange. They killed the people in Vietnam and they killed their people. The Gulf War #1 that they did in 91, the people came back with depleted uranium, all of that, plus the hundreds of thousands of people they killed over there. Then they came back with Afghanistan, 2001 or 2. They invaded Afghanistan, and they can't leave yet. Good God, man. 19 years ago. 19 years ago. 19 years ago. They went to Afghanistan, 2001. Yes, it was, 2001. Iraq, 2003. And they killed hundreds of thousands of people each time. They're not in prison, they're not in jail. They're just failing. All of that supersonic weapons. And they're not doing any good. That means their time is up. Their time is up. They're not winning. They're not producing. The global prestige. They're worse than pharaohs. When Pharaoh was drowned, all the plagues that hit Pharaoh, the people are not looking at none of this from a religious perspective. You don't hear nobody in the news say nothing about God. Do they?
No.
You know what I'm saying? This might be, they'll use floods of biblical proportions and whatever, but they won't never mention God. that maybe God is trying to get in touch with us through the environment. You know what I'm saying? And if they read any scripture, this is exactly what it points to.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so we'll speed up. Somebody asked me to make an analysis about Imam Hussein.
Right, yeah.
Well, to tell you the truth, this is the 8th of Muharram, and Friday and Saturday would be, maybe tomorrow would be Arafat, and after that, Muharram, the 10th of Muharram, Ashura. And Ashura is a great celebration when Imam Hussein was martyred in about 680. Him and a huge part of his family. I would say that all this stuff today is a vengeance of Imam Hussein. It's all fallen into place. All of the followers of Imam Hussein are under pressure, whether it's Hezbollah, whether it's Iran, all of those places, or whether it's in Yemen. It doesn't make a difference. They're all holding on. And all the people here, I don't know what to say about the Shias here in the United States, but something is wrong. I'm not going to get into it. Maybe I'll mention it a little bit tomorrow or the next day. The Shias here seem to be non-Vilayati Faqih Shias. All of them. The Iranians, the African Americans. So I don't have no comment. In the past, I used to think I was slow. You know, like, this thing happened, that thing happened, and I would get it maybe the second go around or the third go around. So I said, man, you're slow, you gotta speed up because